Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch rider. Ravens, we gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, it's the Couch Rider Report. I'm your Couch Rider Raven, Jermaine Lockett. I just want to say thanks for coming through. Appreciate all of you people who have subscribed and those of you who hit the bell. Thanks for chiming in. Look, we got about 4 comments in the room. Let's go ahead and see who's made it here first. Wilbert is live. He finally caught a show, which means somebody's sleeping. Congratulations on the child, man. And I remember them sleepless nights. So I know that, you can get the show in whenever you can. So I appreciate you, man, even though you're a Browns fan. So whoever says hello, Coach Couch. Shantae is in the building. I appreciate you coming through, Shantae. What's happening? All right. So just like these people here who are live in the stream, you can join live too if you join us on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:45 Central. That's going to be 9:45 Eastern because I'm in Nebraska. But, my family's all originated from Maryland, and I'm just a very huge Ravens fan stuck in a cornfield right now. But if you want to join live, then you can go ahead and join us on Monday evenings at 8:45 Central or Wednesdays at 8:45 Central. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. All right, let's go and get this thing going. Shout out to you because you're making it happen. We're at 1,182 subscribers. We are somebody. At least, when the Ravens Roundup isn't going on, usually there's a lot more participation. So thank you so much for coming through and participating with me. Cameroon is not here right now. He's in an interview, and he'll be out probably in the next 20 minutes, he says. All right, so we got 4 people in the room. Go ahead and put a comment in there and hit that like button if you could. And we'll move forward into our motivational moments. Today's motivational moment, I had to really dig deep on this one because I kept thinking, people are individuals. People going to mess up. But you keep driving. You keep going. This motivational moment says it's by Arthur Golden. It says, a mind troubled by doubt cannot focus on the course to victory. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Think about what the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens is going through right now. Think about Steve Bisciotti. Think about Lamar. All of them are on their course. They have their objective. And if they were troubled by doubt, they can't focus on the course to the goals that they want to achieve. The goals that they had planned on meeting when they step into a room to negotiate or when they're trying to get a player signed. And we're excited about it. We're pumped because of the fact that we got Odell Beckham Jr. But if they had focused on the doubt that Ravens Nation, a lot of Ravens Nation caused with saying, we want Eric DeCosta fired, EDC's got to go, all this stuff. They couldn't have stayed the course and they wouldn't have been able to make such a great thing happen with the signing of Odell Beckham Jr. So you got to stay that course in your life. If you're off course, if you're not focused, you're not going to be able to stay that course and you're not going to achieve those results, that victory. Stay the course, folks, and achieve that victory. Go achieve greatness because you stayed on that path. That is today's motivational quote. Next. All right, like I said, those people who I mentioned earlier, the problems that they're going through, there are good times and bad times. And yesterday was a pretty good time, and today's an even better one because the front office is their birthday. Eric DeCosta and Steve Bisciotti. Shout out to both of them. They have done amazing things for the city of Baltimore outside of football. They've done things for my family outside of football. Last year, my stepfather's church burned down, and you people, you stepped up big time and helped donate. to help rebuild or actually find him a new church home. So that's kind of what he was doing, is working on a new church home because the previous one burnt down and there was some shadiness going on with the owner. Anyway, he was working on getting the church home, and you all helped donate to that. The DaCosta Foundation donated to that as well. So thank you, Ravens Flock. Thank you, EDC. Thank you, Lacey. Y'all have been amazing. All of you have been great for my family to support. The kind words. Oh, yeah, it's just been great. Thank y'all so much. And happy birthday to both of these birthday boys. They are 29 again, if anybody asks. All right. The next thing we got to roll into, now that we got through our birthdays, we got through our motivational thought. Let's talk about it. Odell Beckham. Yes, we're pumped. I'm excited. I am so thankful that we got another wide receiver. A wide receiver to match up with Rashad. They've been buddies already. They saw this coming. There's been recruitment going on with, Marlo sitting here saying, hey, let's be best friends and go win a Super Bowl. And then you got the positivity coming from Ravens. I don't know about Ravens Flock. I just didn't see all the Ravens Flock positivity till just before it happened. But you're back in the boat now, so I appreciate that. But there's a lot of people that are still not in the boat. And you're like, what are they saying? Well, they saying all types of stuff. They're like, oh, this is irresponsible with the cap. Everybody's considering the cap space when they're saying it's irresponsible that the Ravens signed Odell Beckham Jr. Well, I'm pretty sure the Jacksonville Jaguars made worse financial decisions last year. I'm pretty sure a lot of teams out there were knowing that they're competing with other teams in order to sign players at free agency. That's why it's free agency. They're free to talk to whoever they want to and drive the price up. And Odell Beckham did a very good job of going to different locations to figure out, hey, what's my number? What's my price? And he got the price that he felt that he wanted. And if it's a little bit out of range, guess what? Y'all been talking about the Ravens not being able to sign players for years as far as the wide receiver market. So you knew that you were going to have to reach down into this bag in order to get what we needed. And now you mad? You want to be mad because we spent some money now? Like, there's no pleasing you when Eric DaCosta went out there and did exactly what the Rams were doing. They took their model as far as those void years and started throwing things back. They pulled out the credit card. It's going to cost a little bit. Right now, you have to spend in order to get that wide receiver. Plus, it's all about getting Lamar Jackson back in the house. If Lamar is, according to NFL Network, recruiting for players to come play for the Ravens, then obviously the dude wants to stay. He's not one of them cats that's just going to walk out and say, that's a really good place to work. You should go there. But I'm not going there. Lamar is sticking around. That's going to be my shot. I'm calling it right now. Lamar is sticking around, and I think he'll sign. He may sign sometime this week. I'm not going to call it, but like put an exact date on it. But he is signing somewhere in the near future. They just got to get the number right. They got to get the number right. People were trying to compare the two contracts, whether it be Lamar's contract, whether it be Odell Beckham's contract, and Odell, Lamar should be mad because Odell got this much money. No, Lamar should be excited that the Ravens went out and got them a wide receiver, got him a wide receiver to actually play with that has superstar power. Is he just a name? We'll see. I'm gonna go back and read some of your comments right quick. Let's see. Wilbur says Ravens finally got their wide receiver 4 seasons too late. hey, it's just he's ready. He's ready. Already got it coming for us. Well, the thing is, he's only 30 years old. You got to think about, when did we sign Anquan Bolden? We signed him at 30 years old. And how much did he earn that season? He earned $10 million for that season. And some people are fussing about the number that Odell Beckham earned. So if you look at it, when that first season happened for Anquan, I think it was in 2010, here we are 13 years later, and the cap or the number for that type of position, for that type of age players, only went up by $5 million, $5 million to $8 million based on incentives. That's not a high rise considering the market. If we get the juice versus the squeeze, or the juice with the squeeze out of Odell Beckham, we're looking at a top tier type wide receiver. Just like how Anquan Bolden was when we signed him. He was a top tier type of wide receiver, and it was an actual bully on the field. We're looking for that type of guy who can be that dog out there, and I think Odell Beckham can be that guy. We just got to have a little faith and not be as upset about the age number. He has talent. We've seen some of the workout videos. That talent is still there. That flash, that loveliness that he has on the field is still there. But maybe the yak isn't there. The yards after the catch isn't there. But the hands are still there. Just want him to use both of them. I'm tired of him just using the right hand. The left hand needs to be used as well when you're going up for these catches, man. All right. Shane says, stop talking sense. Brooke is in the building. Hey, girl, how you doing? All right. People are excited for to see each other in the room. So can he catch? Yes. The man can definitely catch. Thanks, Shane. Hey, so here are some other things that they were saying. So they were saying that we paid him too much. Well, look at the price tag on Nuke. On the Cardinals wide receiver right now who wants out. His price tag right now in order to take that contract on in a trade will be $19.5 million. That's the market. It is what it is. It is what you offered them. And he was able to drive that price up using the Jets and the Cowboys, but he got the number. And honestly, I don't care if he was playing for a bunch of zebra cakes. He's in Baltimore. We got a wide receiver. Let's blanking go. All right, Nindy, I had some other things to say about that. So Jacksonville, like I said, they paid $18 million for 1 year, or excuse me, $18 million per year for Christian Kirk. And, you know, I think they overpaid. I think they really overpaid for that guy. And then Kenny Golladay, I mean, he robbed the Giants. Got $18 million per year for him. He leveraged us in the bathroom to get signed with the Giants, and that kind of went to trash. So, I mean, what goes around comes around. And maybe, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we sign Kenny Golladay. You know, make him work out, of course, have a tryout, see how he looks. And then maybe he has a resurgent career. Get a young buck. I know a lot of y'all don't think that's a good option, but I'm thinking like, hey, pull him in for the cheap, for the low, see what he's got. And if he thrives, he thrives. Cool. We got him on a good 1 year deal. Like they said, they wanted to revamp this entire receiver room. This is the opportunity to be able to do that. And then, of course, Allen Robinson. This dude got $15 million in 2022 with the Rams. How'd that work out? I mean, he wasn't favored. I think that honestly, he got treated how Odell Beckham got treated when he was in the Browns. Like he just wasn't targeted. Cooper Kupp was the guy apparently, but Landry was the guy in Cleveland. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Wilbert. I know you're that huge Browns fan. You got on stats. Here's a guy who truly robbed the bank. Russell Gage. He got $10 million to go to Tampa Bay. So if we offered Odell Beckham less than $10 million, which are we saying that Russell Gage is better than Odell Beckham Jr.? Granted, Russell Gage in Tampa Bay got 5 touchdowns. Give him props. So that was $10 million well spent on a receiver, but I don't think he's going to have that similar production this time around. And then they kept talking about Odell Beckham and his 2 surgeries. He had 2 surgeries. We knew he had 2 surgeries. We knew he had 2 surgeries before we even signed him. Everybody else in the league, when they were bidding for him, the Cowboys, when the Jets were going after him, everybody else knew that he had 2 surgeries. Y'all want to bring it up now? It didn't change anything when we signed him. Oh, now we bring up the 2 surgeries. No, this is history. That's history. We already know that. People got injuries. I'm going to go through some injury history real quick, right after I read these comments. All right, Shane says, how much we paying total now on wide receivers? Still bottom of the league? Well, I mean, if you add the 18, carry the 1, yes, we're probably still down at the bottom, maybe close to the bottom, but a lot of people are on rookie deals as well. I think second, some of these star power wide receivers start getting those contracts, you're going to see us even go further down. Sorry I did that motion, but moving on. Shante says, did you see the segment with Skip and Shannon about how they paid OBJ? I didn't agree with half the things they said. Well, as far as how they paid him, I mean, I saw the segment, but I feel like the money is the money. There's incentives. You start off at 15, you work your way up to 18 based on Pro Bowls, Super Bowls, playoffs, whatever, individual accolades, team accolades, whatever. They have those incentives built in there, but they also use void year money. So he's getting like a little bit over $1 million for this year with the $13 million bonus that goes on top of that. So that's that guaranteed money you push in and then you bounce that out, or you balance it out throughout the years. So it doesn't hurt the Ravens cap this year as much because we knew we had less than $10 million in space before Odell Beckham was signed. So that money gets played around with it. Like I said, it's just like pulling out a credit card. You put a little bit back on the back burner so you can deal with it later, but there's not that many years because he's got 1 year. It's a 1 year deal. So 1 year rental. All right. Brooks says, I don't even really like Odell personality wise, and I'm thrilled. People think we're going to get a quality receiver for $5. If my QB likes it, I love it. That's what I'm saying. How many times have the Ravens been beat out? They've been completely beat out on these deals because they went in low. And yes, I still think the Ravens are the ones who offer $4 million for Odell initially. And Odell said, hey, you know what? Call me back when y'all get serious. And their numbers started rising up. They got to go in low. It's negotiation. It's just what happens. We have to be patient with these type of things. So anyway, how many times have we lost out on players because we did not spend the bag in free agency or to spend the actual draft picks in free agency? They didn't take the chances. Now Eric DeCostas, he's being a little risky. EDC's risking it right now for the biscuit. You can't hate on the dude both ways. Like, oh no, you're saving too much money. You didn't take any chances. Oh no, you're taking too many chances, and now you're spending the bag. Which is it? One or the other. You can't be on both sides of the street hating on this dude constantly. You just got tomatoes just ready just to toss them any which way. Can't please them for nothing. All right. Jose is here, man. What's good? Hey, you ain't coming up with crazy contract numbers again for Lamar because, I mean, $100 million a year, that's entirely too much. I'm just sorry. I know I was just talking about money for Odell Beckham and how much we need. 100 mil? No, not 100 million. All right. Wilbur says Landry definitely was the guy in Cleveland. I miss him. Yeah, I liked Landry because he was just one of those prototypical fundamental route runners. He knew fundamentals is exactly what wins ball games when you stick to what you know, have the hands, run the routes, and just be there for your quarterback. I loved Landry because of that. What did I say? We got OBJ. Oh, you must have called it. Okay. I had put something out there. I don't know if y'all remember. I put a little tweet out there last week? It was 9 days ago, to be exact. And it was after Slay's contract offer got put out there by Slay. So Slay said, hey, the Ravens offered me 14 mil. I almost took it, almost said yes, but the Eagles matched. And I said, hey, if the Ravens offered 14 mil to Slay, guess what? The number must be close for Odell. People say, oh, no, you're wrong. There's no way. Da, 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 da. What happens? I'm $1 million off, and it ended up being 15 mil. Just saying, man, I know a little something about negotiations. That if a cornerback that's similar in age and talent, and then on the opposite side of the ball, you got the same thing going on as far as negotiations, the numbers should be around the same. That skills position is starting to really mirror each other. You'll see one wide receiver making 30 mil. You see a cornerback making 30 mil. That skills position definitely stays the same around each other. All right, let's keep rolling. Big Red says, I'm part-time Ravens fan. If Lamar signs, I'll be back to full-time. How you go part-timers, man? Reds, come on, man. You either with us or you ain't with us, man. What they say, you were with us or you against us. So the Ravens had no choice but to make this move when it can out. They offered Slay 15. I'm not really sure what you're saying there. We're going to keep rolling down a little bit. Shane says 17.5 million cap hit for all wide receivers on the roster this season. Come on, stop crying, people. Yes, you have to spend it. You got to go out there and spend the bag. There's no savings. There's no T-Mobile rollover benefits for going ahead and saving this money. Spend it. It's not going to always be there, and they're going to figure out a way to work it all back in. Look, the Saints can be 100 mil like in the negative and still find a way out of it. The Packers can sign Aaron Rodgers to a $48 million, whatever, with a $52 whatever $1 million deal when they was already $48 million in the hole. They figured it out. All these teams managed a way to figure out those void years and all how this contract stuff ended up rolling out. It's time to spend a little bit, time to go a little crazy, with the credit card. And Eric DeCosta is starting to figure that out. Last year, he was trying to be sensible and safe and stay above the cap number, all this. Now, because he's done all that responsible thinking in the past, he can now be a little bit riskier going forward. Is that to say the Ravens are done as far as signing wide receivers? I don't know. But I think we're good for the moment, at least until the draft. All right. Brooks says exactly, Reg. No one flinched at the Slay offer, and it's only a mil less ready. See what I'm saying? All right. Adi says Nelson Aguilar and a rookie wide receiver increases the floor, and OBJ increases the ceiling. I think Aguilar, if you go ahead and look at Derek's tape from all 22, this dude breaks down Aguilar in a way that shows that he's still got some burst, he's got some ability to separate, and I think he's going to be a great addition to this team. And as much as we were upset about it and ready, some of y'all are ready to take EDC to the to the edge of town and dismiss him. We have that patience. He's going to turn out all right, and he's going to make Odell Beckham just that much better. But I can't wait to see what we do in the draft. Wilbur says OBJ and LJ8 got a competition going on to see who will get injured. Bruh. Gotta love this dude, I swear. All right. Shante says, wonder how Aaron Rodgers feels. Look, Aaron Rodgers has plenty of weapons over there. And I think that was the main seller for Odell Beckham coming to the Ravens. It was because when he saw the Jets roster, when you see that they had a first-round draft pick from last year, they got burners, they got everything they need position-wise. They got Allen Lazard over there now. Aaron Rodgers has weapons all over that field. I think they just need a beast tight end, and then they'll be good to go. So Odell Beckham trying to find out what his role was in that type of crowd, I don't think he would have been happy there. And he'd have been making a fit on the biggest stage at the Big Apple. All right, still hoping to get D-Hop. That price tag's pretty big, but like I said, boy years is there for a reason now. Depending on who's there, I would still take a wide receiver at 22. This is what I was getting at. This is what I was about to get at here. Hold on, man. We'll get to you. So we're taking Johnson. I don't know about Johnson. Wilbur gross. Some shade here. So OBJ wanted to go to a place he can call home. I don't know. We heard that same thing about Michael Crabtree. When Crabtree did his first interview, it kind of looked like he was high, to be honest. But he said Baltimore was a place he can call home, and it was where he's always wanted to be. And he came out, and production wasn't as great as we thought it was going to be. I don't care what they say, whatever, on the camera, hot tubs, airports, whatever. I feel like what he's going to produce on the field is going to be so much better. Yes, he might have that Dennis Rodman mentality. Might need to go take a trip to Vegas mid-season. Let him have it because what he produces on the field is going to be that much better. All right, here we are. What else did I have on here? All right, so we talked about injury history. I wanted to talk about that for a little bit because everybody was like, oh, well, he's had 2 ACL reconstructions. Is all I heard about on the media today. Well, here's the injury history for a few guys. So as far as Nuke goes, he missed 3 games in 2021 with the hammy. He missed a 2021 with an MCL tear. And so that was 3 games of the season. And then he missed 2 games in 2022 with a knee strain. And that was the final 2 games of the season. So it ended his season. And then DJ Chark. So DJ Chark is one of those ones where he has his times where he is a explosive downfield deep threat, but he had injuries as well. So he missed 1 game with the chest in 2022. That's going to be 2020. He missed a game with the back in 2022. Or no, sorry. I keep saying 2022. 2020. Let's see. 1 game with ribs injuries, a shin issue. He missed all but 4 games in 2021 with an ankle. And then in 2022, he missed 7 games. So he got $5 million as a meh type of receiver out of Carolina. So you can look and see all players, they get injured. Things are going to happen. It's just how you bounce back. AP bounced back after having hit like such a terrible surgery. And you take a year off. Usually it's the year after those surgeries, you come back a little bit stronger. And then let's look at a couple other contracts here. So we had Jacoby Myers and Allen Lazard making about $11 million per year. So are we saying that Odell Beckham, is he better or worse than Lazard and Myers? I think Myers has some upside, but at the same time, he's not a $15 million guy. I think Allen Lazard, what did he have? 700-some yards last year? He is not an $11 million guy. Odell is one of those guys that's going to get you 1,000 yards. He did it in 2019 under Monken. He can do it again if we give him the targets. Let's just call it like that. And of course, if this offense is formed in a way that is pass happy, which hopefully Monken can take us there. So let's talk about the reason you are here. The question: does Odell Beckham, does his addition change the way the Ravens look at the draft? If it changes the way that, I don't think it changes the way it looks at, like we look at the draft, to be honest. And the reason I say that is because Odell Beckham is a 1-year rental. He is a 1-year rental. Sure, if he shows up and Ravens try to put on an extension in the middle of the season for this guy, I'm sure he's going to take it because, one, we're the ones who gave him a chance to show him the love, show him the appreciation contract-wise that he wanted. We restructure, we figure out a way to make him a better appreciated type of player, and we move forward. But more than likely, this is just what I'm thinking. Odell Beckham does this 1 year and balls. And then he says Baltimore because there are other teams out there who are going to offer him a significant amount of money for his type of production, even if he is 31. This dude goes over here to Ravens, balls out, gets over 1,000 yards, becomes one of the Ravens, 1,000-yard club. It was 1,000-yard players, and that's a small club. And speaking of small clubs, someone just joined this small club here, and that is the legend, the myth, the man, the rapper, ladies and gentlemen, Cameroon. What's good, man?
You're all over the place today, son. What's going on?
What you mean all over the place? You got shoe deal interviews going on. You got it all.
We gotta make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Sound like you
in there. Where you been, Wilbur? Where you been, sucker?
Yeah, he been there with baby. He had baby issues, man.
He got a baby?
Yeah, he got a baby, man. A beautiful baby.
Oh, happy man! Congratulations! I was about to say happy birthday. Congratulations!
EDC birthday.
What up, D? Brookie Brook.
Oh, let's see.
Your punk behind was missing. All right, hold on. Before we go any further, because I don't know what's been said, let me just see this. I was ready for y'all last week, but somebody want to take a trip to Vegas on the low, son.
Beaver.
Nothing until like 5 minutes. 5 minutes before time to go, he said, "Yo, I'm out." I was like, you just go and lift off.
Sorry, man. Look, I knew. I was like, all right, if I get ready, I was like, if I because I had one night to spend with the kids too, so it was just like, all right, I can do the show or I can get ready and spend some time with the kids. And so of course I had to go, spend some time with the kids because I was stiff arming them for the rest of the week and going to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? We didn't bring the kids. It was not.
I got this straight. Are you a kid? He hit me with the Larry Dicker move.
Yeah, that's kind of why there was no show Wednesday and no show on Monday. So sorry about that. I'll stay more consistent. I'll try to stay away from Vegas and other activities.
Stay away from Vegas. He out there having hangovers.
Like it was quite a trip. There was some wild things. People in Vegas they just different. They
different.
And everything is expensive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we was probably paying like $50-$60 a meal, and that was for 2 people. That was insane. All right, so let's pay some bills. I know a few of these folks they had something to say here. So they was
deep real quick because I know you're saying something about the ACL. I know you talked about OB, but I
had to go in a little bit.
Brother, pay the bills.
All right, so Shantae saying what's up?
Right, I said what up.
All right, Shantae said what's up. D is saying.
Shantae.
All right, so I just know that if you hadn't hit that like button, hey, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button.
Slap that bell.
Smack that bell so you know when it's going down. After you subscribe, of course. Adi says, I wonder if the second ACL injury was a result of the first one not fully healing. Yep. Guys have cleaned up surgery before.
Yep, I'm about to answer that question for you right now.
Okay, go ahead.
The last, his ACL was never fully healed. It was already torn before he even got to the Super Bowl because he said that was one. The surgeon that fixed it because it was the same knee. The surgeon that fixed it said that it was a botched job. The job that was horrible. Jose, what up? It was a horrible, horrible job. Whoever did it. So I don't know who in Cleveland did what they did, but they didn't know what they was doing. Okay. Anyway, going back to it, I just saw someone NFL Live today. He should be the fact that he's had all this time off is gonna be even better for him. Brooke, hush your mouth because you ain't feed me yet. Anyway, they said no cartilage has been torn. It's clean. Everything is clean. So, real talk, he might be 100%. Like, we haven't had a receiver this good, this young since Anquan Bolden. Yep. He was around 29, 30 when he came in.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling him. I was like, hey, based on where the market is, like Anquan got offered $10 million for that first year. Sure, the remaining years after that were lower, right. But his income that year was $10 million.
That was on the trade. This is the thing. This is the head kicker, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
This is my prediction. I think he's going to retire here, bro, because the fact that he's coming off the street and this is a prove-it deal, if he doesn't get signed here, that's a $10 million, that's $11 million cap hit on the Ravens from next season.
Okay.
If they don't sign him before 2024. So if y'all think that he ain't going to sign here, only way it's not going to happen is if OB does not prove himself. He don't play well, which I highly doubt.
I mean, but like, what if he balls out like Justin Jefferson ball out?
Well, then that's why you got to sign him before that. They need to sign him middle of the season, like they did Marcus Peters.
Okay.
You need to sign him you want to get it done way before then. But as far as like the injury is concerned, Justina Anderson was like, yo, he should be good because it was clean. And it's the same. Obviously it's the same knees, which is a good thing. But usually when it's the same knee, they said the cartilage is off. They said none of everything was smooth. Everything else looked good. Like it's just that the ACL was never done the proper way. So that's why he's actually ahead of schedule as far as like his healing. And then on top of that, he's a crazy athlete, bro. Only other joke I know that had this like him that's a crazy athlete that can come back and do what they're doing off ACL injury like they did, that's been proven. Because think about this now. It's 2023. Adrian Peterson had his ACL tear, what was it? When was Favre there? Because it was right before Favre was there. Because he had a 2000 year. He had the 2000 season right after that, after the ACL. Was it 2010? It
might have been 2010.
The following year, he went off.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he almost broke Eric Dickerson's record that following year.
Yeah, man, and then it's just like for him to continue to go on in Washington and have those flashes, of greatness. You could see that some of that old AP was still there. And I think right now we're at that twilight to where we're going to see flashes of the Odell Beckham. I'm not saying it's going to be one of those phenomenal type years, one hand catches at the end zone, all this stuff. I'm saying we're going to see consistent production out of this guy as long as he's being targeted. You get him to rock, he's going to do the thing. He's going to do his thing. But like his yards after catch is not going to be as magnificent. But you're going to see some of those catches that are going to move the chains. It's going to be spectacular. You're going to see some of the climb the ladder type Odell Beckham type catches, just the yards after catch. I just don't think the legs are going to be there like they used to be.
Bro, he's rocked up. He has never been that big before. He is jacked up. Like you can see he's been putting in the time. And then you got to also think about it like this. Being that it's his ACL and it's a year and a half out, right? His body's had time to heal, but he's not a running back. So his legs aren't going to be as dead. Like Adrian Peterson's legs should have been dead.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Look how he was overloaded that year when he went over 2,000. And this is after the ACL. This is post-ACL. This ain't pre-ACL. This is post-ACL.
All right. So Nathan says, Nathan Hardestick, I don't know if y'all know, but Ravens Capital I think it's this guy right here. I think it's Ravens Cow. He is the guy who is continually doing the jersey swaps, and he does a phenomenal job on the jersey swaps. If you ask him for any player that you want, he will put it on Twitter or he put it on Instagram.
Nathan,
Dude, it's solid. Huh?
to my Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan, that's what you do, bro.
Yeah, that's Ravens capital right there.
Okay.
So I mean, drafted players. He's probably already got a library of drafted or potentially drafted players that could come to the Ravens that he could put in jerseys, whether it be Josh Downs, wherever, Cedric Tillman, all those guys. He probably has jersey swaps or is going to work on those jersey swaps for those. He is really good at what he does. So shout out to this guy.
Brooks, what's she talking? No D Hop.
You don't want D Hop? Oh no, she wants D Hop.
It ain't gonna happen. That's over.
Like, we ain't got that kind of money now. We don't have that money, but he did have a good question. Let's go back to that question. He says he does graphic design design work for the guys too. Okay,
Very nice.
that's cool. We might be giving you a call about some thumbnails.
Yeah.
All right, back
the day we get D Hop is the day you cook for me.
You better get to cooking. All right, anywho. All right, so yeah, now y'all know both of them are on the show. There's no rumors, none of that. They here. Y'all can squash the rumors. They are not. She is not flying across the country to Jersey. Anyway, back to the question.
She's in the South. She in Carolina, ain't she?
No, she was going from Carolina up to Michigan and stuff. So,
all over the world.
She was on tour. I thought she was gonna slide past the castle before Odell Beckham was signed because she always like pull up on people. Anyway, so this is what the episode here is really, really boiling down to. So do the Ravens still draft a wideout? And I mean, even considering first round, do you consider drafting a wideout because Odell Beckham is on that 1-year rental?
Do I consider it?
Yeah.
Well, all right, before I answer that question, one of the things that we've always wanted to do, I'm saying we, like I work for the Ravens. The Ravens always like to try to patch up all their holes, right? So they pause, but they try to cover all the locations as far as positions wise, right? So we try to fill every hole if we can.
Yep.
But to answer your question, if you do that, then somebody is gone immediately. I'm referring to Duvernay, because if you have 2 first-round draft picks at receiver, who's starting?
I think Duvernay's safe. Because of one of his special teams ability.
Right. And if you go first round, I'm just saying. Now I'm talking about money wise. I'm not even referring to anything else. I'm talking about money wise, and because remember he gets because he made the Pro Bowl twice, he gets an automatic bump to 4.5 or whatever it is, and as far as financially, as far as his money is concerned.
Yeah.
If you bring in a number 1 receiver, first round draft pick, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did it.
Yeah.
OBJ starting, we know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In essence, sure. Aguilar is he's a depth piece, but he's not that far of a depth piece. He's more like the 3A, 3B.
Okay.
Between him and Duvernay. Then you got Bateman on the other side, probably saying that he don't need to rush back if that's the case. But 1, 2, 3, somebody you're gonna have. Are we gonna go three receiver set? Are we doing it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we gonna go? Are we starting two tight ends and 2 receivers? I'm just trying to figure out where we're going. I know we're gonna pick a receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
If we go first round, I'm trying to think of the logic behind it. I'm not saying it can't be possible, but
yeah, I'm just thinking insurance for the future. And of course, if let's say they do pick up this receiver right now, dropping James Prochet or dropping him now or dropping him after the June 1st deadline, it doesn't hurt the Ravens either way. They still save the exact same amount of money by dropping that dude. So
I'm not even talking about Prochet. I'm saying only reason I said dude was because he was our number 2 last year.
Yeah.
So now at this particular time, with OBJ on there, he's either the number 3, which he should be a slot receiver Dude should be on the outside. He's a slot receiver. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just trying to figure out, how's it line up as far as where we going. And again, it doesn't hurt, you know what I mean? But I don't think we have to reach. I think it put us if Zay Flowers is there or the top corner is there, whoever's better on the board should be picked.
Yeah, I do love the way that like you said, fill all those holes.
Yeah, I don't think Joey Porter's gonna be there, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Joey Porter's gonna be there. He's getting
buzz.
a lot of buzz. Like he's like the number 3 corner now. Like I didn't think he was the number 3 corner because I look at his tape and I just think he's like he's a bit handsy.
So you think he's gonna be like top 15?
I can see that because the fact that there's so many good receivers in the game and this is a passing league, I think that you want to get the best. You want to the only way to defend you got to get corners, and I think I don't know what Minnesota picks before us or after us. I think they pick after us. I could see them snatching them.
Okay.
Because they need corners, especially with who's the new defensive coordinator that they have?
Minnesota, yeah, man.
I forgot who's the new they got a new DC, but he runs the 3-4-2. Oh man, I can't even think of what it is. But they need corners. They definitely need corners. So it's a lot of teams in this draft that need corners. Even though the corner draft, they said the corner room is deep as far as the draft is concerned. So,
the D says, do we draft a Duvernay type wide receiver, Flowers, Downs, Dell, to potentially replace Duvernay or Prochet, just like how Hamilton replaced Chuck Clark? I mean, I can see that because of we have Flowers does have that nice return ability. However, the Ravens did meet with JSN today, so there is that. And I mean, if he's on the clock, I mean, do you pull the trigger because he's one of the most explosive receivers in the draft?
So about Flowers?
Flowers or JSN.
I mean, I think right now JSN is considered the number 1 receiver coming out of the draft. Is he going to be there? It's good to meet with him, unless they're going to take a shot and they're going to move up.
I doubt they move up. We ain't got the capital to move up, and I think he wants more picks. So I think if anything, they might slide off of 22.
I just did just for the heck of it. I did a mock draft.
Okay.
Times that I slid back. If I stayed at 22, there was a receiver there in the corner. If I didn't do that and I slid back, one draft I grabbed Ringo. The other draft I grabbed Cam Smith, which are both of the corners that were there.
Okay. So you corner both times.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you. I said this before when we were talking. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we went interior. If we went for old boy from I can't think of his name right now from Georgia Tech. He's an edge rusher, but he can play. Since we're losing, he can play the 5 technique, which he'd probably be better at the 5 technique. And he's what 6'5", 6'6", 287. You bulk him up to 290, 295. He's perfect to slide in there because who do we have on that line that's actually a true 5 technique that's taking the place of Calais Campbell?
The thing is the guy who was forced to sub in because of his injuries was constantly Matabike. So
Matabike started.
Matabike was starting. I thought there was times when Calais was out, Matabike was the one filling in that spot, either him or Broderick Washington, right?
No, it could have been Broderick, but Matabike was starting already.
And you had Urban was sliding down the line as well because he was similar.
Defense, if you ran the base defense, Matabike was the 3. Michael Pierce was the nose in the beginning of the season, and then Calais was playing defense end, and then when Pierce got hurt, they slid Broderick in there to play nose sometimes, or Travis Jones.
Yeah,
play nose. You know what I mean? So,
I cannot wait to see what this guy does this year. Like, he is explosive. Just watching him in the preseason last year, you just see him exploding all through the line like the Kool-Aid man.
well,
he was doing his thing, man.
him and Broderick have been working. So I do see their posts. I follow both of them. They've been working. So that's a good thing. They said Travis been in there like every day in the reps. And
Let's see what Wilbur says. He says the Ravens will have to run 2 tight end set with likely because they will still run first. That only leaves room for 2 wide receivers on the field. This will cause trouble in the locker room. And the thing is, we don't know exactly what this offense is going to look like. We really don't. Like, in Georgia, yes, they were tight end centric over there because they had phenomenal tight ends. And they were trying to make it work with a quarterback that didn't necessarily have like that top caliber talent. And so they formed things around the easy security blankets, the tight ends. And then they still, but Monken is very versatile. He's able to go from using multiple tight end sets to running full on air raid and having 5 receivers in empty backfield. Like, he can do it all. And then, of course, with Cleveland, he was able to have, Chubb back there and doing great things with the ground game. This guy is versatile. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like right now. And I don't think it's going to be run-centric. I think they're going to open some things up, and it's going to piss off Dobbins a lot. I'll be honest with you. Because of the fact I don't think he's going to get the rock as much as he wants.
You don't think Dobbins is going to get the rock as much as he wants?
Not as much as he was planning to get it, with, like, say, Giro in the house. If Giro let's say Giro had got his act together, didn't get fired, and they gave him another season. I think they would have concentrated, they'd doubled down on the run game as usual, and Dobbins would have got more of that rock. But now I think with the concentration being on, spreading the ball around, doing a little bit more pass attack, Dobbins is going to get some love, no doubt, because you still have to have the play action in order to open up the pass. It's just not going to be as much as a Giro-led offense.
I mean, he really wasn't getting a lot with Giro. He was only averaging like maybe 15 carries a game, but I don't know.
Was he splitting that with Gusto?
Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The way Monken, from what I've seen, I'm just basing it off of really when he was in Cleveland. It didn't seem like it stopped what's the name hitting 1,000 yards.
All right, let's see what Jose, he says. Pro style and spread offense is what we're going to run. Monken ran that in Cleveland and Tampa, the same offenses. The 49ers offense is what Monken showed Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. I still think it's being cooked. I think when we listened to Monken's press conference, he said, hey, there's some great things, and wow, why do y'all even need me? But I got to figure, he was trying to figure out how to make the offense around Lamar. And not necessarily Lamar's running skill set. He's just saying he wants to be able to develop Lamar. And I'm okay with that. We just got a donation. Shout out to Chris there. He says, trade Gus and Dobbins for Derrick Henry. If we could afford something like that, that would turn this thing into a full-on monster. I think, Nathan, didn't you do you did a jersey swap of Derrick Henry in the Ravens uniform? I believe I saw that one.
Excuse me for one second.
Yeah. So he did a Raven swap of Derrick Henry in the uniform. So it was clean too. That 22 looked nice on that guy. Pause. Wilbur says, Chris with the facts. Be clean. Brooks says, Dobbs going to have to eat a Snickers and relax. Yes, there's going to be, y'all know it, the same thing that happens on defense, the same thing that happens on offense. It's got to be a lot of unselfish gameplay going on in order to have success. The team. You already know what team stands for. Together, everyone achieves more. And then Brooks says, Henry is not being traded. They said that wasn't even true. I mean, he wouldn't be let out of there if he wanted to get out of there. It's just like a Detroit situation. You get that top tier player, the team ends up going to they have some struggles and they have a lot of problems as far as getting wins. But they ain't gonna let that star player out of there. They didn't do it with Megatron. They definitely they didn't do it with Barry Sanders. So just keep that in mind. I mean, they ended up letting Stafford out of there and he ended up winning the championship. But usually, bad franchises, they got top tier players. They know this is the one that keeps the fans in the stands. They try their best to build around it, but they're not going to let that player go too much anyway. All right. He said, yeah, he did it a while back. Let me let Cameron back in the building. All right, he's back. Oh, he's eating.
But Brooke won't feed me.
So Brooke won't feed him.
All right.
Like I said, we're looking at wide receivers, at least for the moment. I know you wanted to talk defensive ends. I know you wanted to talk about corners as well. But late round late round wide receivers, if the Ravens decide to go with Porter Jr., or if they decide to go to Porter Jr., then we're looking at the third round. So I was like, all right, third round wide receivers, what's going to be available? So we know that guys like, or at least in my mind, I'm thinking Jonathan Mingo's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. This guy is like a full-on AJ Brown Jr. in my opinion. He is just that type of ball carrier, yards after catch, stiff arm, pushing people out of bounds, really taking people's lunch money. Mingo.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think he's going to be there in the third round. I think he's going to be gone by the second round, somewhere mid-second round, if not first. Somebody might get a little crazy and decide at the back of the end of the first round, like the Chiefs, they might be like, all right, look, 32, pull the trigger. He's there. Boom, we got a bully to build this receiving core. And then another guy who's probably not going to be there based on speed, combine time, stuff like that. These people love their burners. We want the Maryland guy with us, but I think because of that type of speed, Raheem Jarrett, I think he's not going to be there in the third round. He might make it through the second. He's not going to make it through the second. He's not going to make it through the second. He's going to be gone by then. But there are other guys that they got some talent. I was looking at a little bit of reviewing some tape on a few of them, watching some games, mostly watching Tennessee really embarrass Alabama, which is not normal. It's not a norm to see that Alabama's getting burnt or getting taken advantage of on the outside. But the two wide receivers there between Tillman and what's his name, Hyatt, they really put a number on Alabama's corners over there. And so they're going to be around. I think they're going to be around. I don't think they're going to be first round picks. Hyatt may slide into the second, but that speed just cannot. I mean, it's unreal. Just seeing the separation he's able to create. I mean, when he's catching passes, he's 5-6 yards ahead of defenders. And then, of course, the other guy, he's not slow, but for some reason, he's creating separation. Cedric Tillman is he's got a solid build. He uses his body for positioning. He's not going to juke you, but I mean, he's got that kind of Demaryius Thomas type of mentality after he catches the ball. He's going to stiff arm a couple of guys and work his way down the field, dare you to go ahead and try and tackle him. He's got the thick old legs, so it's kind of hard to leg tackle. And he's going to stiff arm, you try to go up top. So this is a very hard tackle there. This guy had over 1,000 yards and he had 12 touchdowns in 2021. So we're looking at this. This is a guy who could be a nice little addition to the Ravens and be somewhat of a bully, the one that we're looking for on the outside to be that bully, because we've had nice guys before when it comes to guys like Boykin, and it just didn't work out. So you need that aggressive type wide receiver, and he is definitely aggressive at 6'3", 215 pounds out of Tennessee. Then there's A.T. Perry, similar build. Parker Washington, for me, I think this guy is like a slow Jamar Chase. Or slower Jamar Chase. I wouldn't say he's slow, but this guy climbs the ladder. This is probably my favorite wide receiver in the draft, to be honest with you. And I'm going to follow this guy wherever he goes, not like a stalker or anything, but just like kind of watching him at the next team that he gets picked up by, if it's not Baltimore, in hopes that he's able to get his opportunity to shine, because I'm looking at a potential star right now, a breakout star with Parker Washington. Boutte, Kayshon Boutte, before I want to say the first couple of mock drafts that I saw from the Draft Network, and my buddy was on there, Dame, full-time Dame. He put one out there, and he had Kayshon Boutte as one of the top receivers in the draft, and that was in 2022. As soon as the 2022 draft ended, he did a mock draft, and he had Boutte sitting at the top of the boards. And I was like, why did he do that? But then I went and looked at the tape on Boutte. He's pretty solid. It's just there's some really phenomenal wide receivers sitting in that first that's going to go in that first round. Any thoughts?
He got a Landry comp. They putting hey. Now where you go is what you do. Oh, we definitely gonna get one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be Tillman. Tillman will be perfect. Remember, Tillman was the number one receiver at Tennessee before he got hurt.
Yeah. And then A.T. Perry, 6'4", over 200. I'm liking these folks that, they took advantage and ate at the buffet, and didn't leave for a little while. So shout out to people that ate. All right, Chris, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, y'all see it? Follow the instructions. Please do that right now. All right, Delicious says, LOL, if Hyatt falls to the third, which I don't see, we got to get. Oh, yeah, no doubt. No, absolutely no doubt. This could be a situation. I know that people were upset with how Hollywood turned out, but there were plays when Hollywood was actually creating that type of separation, or Hyatt could actually create better separation than Hollywood could. And then, of course, Lamar would just love to launch it up to Hyatt. I could see something, just the dream situation happening right there with Hyatt opening things over top, Odell Beckham working in the middle, Rashad being versatile, being able to do both, catching slants, and be able to take it to the house. Duvernay still doing reverses and doing special teams. I mean, and then, we still have those unknowns of what's going to happen with Wallace. What's going to happen? How does Aguilar fit into this equation? It's going to be great to see that one addition come in and do big things. That's there. Delicious says, right, Jose, for a tall guy, he runs routes really good. Okay. What about Jaden Reed? I mean, so Jaden, in my opinion, I thought he reminded me of somebody. If y'all take a look at that photo right there, what do you see? Who do you see when you look at Jaden Reed?
AB.
Absolutely. 100%. I see it the way that he runs his routes, the way he goes up and climbs the ball, just the aggressiveness, the swag, everything. It just says AB all over that, all over again. I would not mind having the next AB minus the crazy. We don't need him running off the field, taking clothes off, nothing like that. We need him over sexually assaulting anybody, beating up people, over furniture, none of that. We want AB without the AB, without the crazy. So if we can get that in Baltimore, that would be pretty sweet.
Reg, what up?
So we talked about Butte.
Mm-hmm.
Booty, give me. Okay, so he's from. Say and you're in Louisiana, it's Butte, but the announcers are saying Booty. It's Parker Washington right there, of course. And we talked about A.T. Perry. We said 6'4", 200 pounds. And then this one, I want to say Ohio State. Let's see, Jalen Moreno Cooper. I didn't get to really watch much on him, but he was one of the ones I was listing. Let's just see what it says. Going to the magical book here that gives me a couple of tips. Like I said, I got to do some tape watching, and then I come in and look at this book a little bit. Huh?
So my old boy from Fresno State?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Fresno State, not Ohio State. I don't know why I said Fresno. He was definitely down the charts. Who's a guy that you think would be a phenomenal pickup for the Ravens late round, third, fourth round?
Cedric.
Okay, tell me. All right, so we got Jalen Moreno Cooper, Fresno State.
Michael Wilson. I'm sorry, Michael Wilson from Stanford.
Okay. Seeing things about him, he was a pretty solid receiver.
Yeah, he just got to stay healthy. Those are the main two that very interesting. You don't think we ain't gonna be there, Big Reg? Not in the round.
There's your boy Tillman. Make sure I had to pull him up.
Yeah, go tell.
All right, so going back to this guy here, Jalen Moreno Cooper out of Fresno State. He's 6 foot even, 173 pounds. This guy's a significant contributor to the offense of the Bulldogs since being a freshman. So he had his best season in 2022. He had nearly 1,100 yards and 5 touchdowns. Long, rangy. He's an offensive chess piece that plays all over the formation. So he's got a smooth accelerator. He understands how to find those little holes in the defense. So he's got an excellent sense of timing and spatial instincts. So I'm excited about something like that coming to Baltimore. But the thing about those late round wide receivers, are they going to get the shot? Because we've seen it. We got 2 on the roster right now that
they ain't getting a chance, and then they labeled as ass cheeks.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to the donation. We had another donation from Chris. Hey, appreciate it. So, hey man, I appreciate you over here donating.
Thank
He's
you,
allegedly with the AB with all the charges. The boy had more court dates than receiving yards, man. Come on.
Charlie Jones is he's more of a slot though.
Okay, Charlie Jones out of Purdue.
We just talked about that. We ain't gonna get no first round receiver in grade. If it happens, it happens, but it may not.
Yeah, there it is. No late round wide receivers. So yes, and I'm with you. I think Ingraven has said this before on a couple of his shows. You know, if we draft them late, do they really even matter? Are they actually going to get that shot? I don't think they are. I don't think they will get the shot that they deserve. Especially if we sit here, we got Odell Beckham sitting on top. We got Rashad underneath him, Aguilar, Duvernay. Anything else after that, they got to fight. They got to fight, and their opportunities are going to be less and less with those guys sitting up there. Unless you see some hamstring injuries or something like that to these top guys, which you know that happens because of those speed coaches. They constantly get them to do those chair type routes where they sit down, and that's hit that flexor or whatever. But a hamstring flexor is starting to stretch back and forth like a crazy rubber band, and then of course injuries happen during the offseason. They're going to get those opportunities, but will they get those opportunities during the preseason to earn that spot? And of course, who's the favorite right now? Who's the golden child that they won't get rid of? That Baltimore is like, all right, we're going to hold on to them and see what else they got. Do they have one of those? Is it Prochet? Is it Wallace? Is it Duvernay? Are they going to let these guys get those reps over them, whoever we happen to draft late round?
We're going to see, because now we got two legitimate wide receiver coaches. They done moved Keith over, he the assistant. And, now just solely focus on developing the receivers. I forgot old boy that came from Kansas City. Got him there.
And I just want to say real quick, shout out to Ingraven, for everybody who supported his channel. I appreciate y'all, for those funds that y'all gave him. Y'all know he getting paid now, so y'all can go ahead and transfer those funds back over here. I appreciate it.
Hey, Gray, what you talking about? What go back up. Hold
on, man. Hold on. Let me read Chris real quick. He said, Hope Prochet buying real estate because he is going to be at Allstate budget.
Chill.
All right, so let's see what Ingraver said here. He says, the guy from the Chiefs. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Hold on. We'll go back up. What you was talking about? What you say? Who did I do wrong? Wallace and who? Was it Prochet?
All right, talking about Prochet and Wallace for Ball Boy 1 and 2. Or you said Ingraven said that?
Yeah, Ingraven said it.
He said, dang Cam, why you do all Prochet and Wallace? Like, look, everybody right now, they have been dogging Prochet out when it comes to the number. Of course, we know that number is going to be one number of discussion. Like, hey, does Odell want 0? Or does he want 7? Because he ain't getting 7. Or does he want 3? I'm pretty sure that's not even going to be a discussion right there. As soon as he walk in the building, if he wants 3, he can be like, yo, Prochet.
Jersey, he might. This is my thing.
Like, run me that number, homie.
Just look, Talon was there. We get him in the 4th round. He don't really get opportunity. When he get on the field to get opportunity, make a catch, and that's it. Then send him back to the side. You was the number 1 receiver. Like, he won the wide receiver award. Am I correct? Coming out that year. Talon won I forgot the name of the daggone receiver award. I'm losing it right now. But, on top of that, he's not getting the chance. We don't know what's going on. We don't know, like, he does what he got to do in special teams. He give him one chance, he catch the ball, then he got to go back to the side. All right, that's your piece for the time being. Like, you don't get a chance to grow. So hopefully they get a chance to grow now. Like, I know we're going to probably bring in another receiver. Well, we are definitely going to bring in another receiver. Somebody out. I don't know if we keep.
I think it's this, like what's up with this guy?
Receivers with Monkey. But I think Demarcus Robinson think he's coming back from what he's saying.
I think he is too. And that presents another problem. Like, now, like, if they bring Robinson back before that draft, then we ain't drafting wide receiver.
No, they're going to be after. It's definitely going to be after. Either that or he doing like Tony Jefferson, and he's the true hype man of loving him being in Baltimore.
Yeah. All right, so I can see it. I mean, Prochet, or not Prochet, Bateman's talking about going back to 0 like he did his freshman year. But I mean, Odell might want 0. And Bateman's like, all right, look, I've already switched numbers once. Like, why not just stick with 7?
Prochet said he going back to 0?
No, Bateman wants to go back to 0 like he was in college. So Bateman had he had the number 0
All
because it was
right,
like he was all about zero tolerance for police brutality. He
right.
had
I already mentioned it, and then he was like, "You're gonna stay with the 7."
yeah. So I think he hit stick with 7. Odell Beckham might come in and be like, good teammate and say, hey, look, Prochet, I know you ain't here long, but for the time you got left, go ahead and keep that 3. I'll go ahead and go with 0.
Nah,
And because I mean that 0 do look good. I've seen the mock-ups with Odell in the 0. It looks great.
whatever Odell pick is what Odell gonna pick. He might go to that 13.
I'm surprised nobody picked the 1. Like nobody's gonna take the 1.
Can't pick one. Nobody allowed to pick a 1 in Baltimore.
Yeah, I think that's a Harbaugh thing. I think he's like, look, y'all. He's like, nobody is 1 here.
Anybody
We are all 1.
to grab 1 is that man on the wall behind you.
Yeah, he said he's gonna swap once he wins the Super Bowl. So hopefully he get that one on soon. I'm gonna have to do some photoshopping of this, or maybe
I don't want to do that.
I might have to hire an artist.
Just stay with what you got.
Yeah.
Win, keep it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Jose says Bateman was talking about going back to 0 his freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, where do we go with this? He said, I'd rather D-Rob than Nelson. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? That's kind of obvious right there.
That's very true.
Big Red says, Big Red says, delicious. That's just a battle of who has better drops between, I think he's talking about Demarcus Robinson or Nelson. Now, that one I can see. Okay, so yeah, I thought you were talking about Nuke, not. Okay, so yeah, D-Rob over Nelson. I don't know. Actually, what do you think on that one? I think that's a little bit on the table.
What, as far as what now?
Demarcus Robinson or Nelson Aguilar?
As far as drops?
Like, which one would you rather have on the roster?
They present something different. Like Aguilar is a speedster, and he's a speedster. He's more of a slot receiver. He's not an outside receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Robinson can play inside and outside. He's a smooth route runner, but he's not.
I mean, I really liked Robinson. Yeah, and I hadn't seen all of everything that he has that Aguilar has to offer. So that's why I'm on the fence with it.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there on the fence. Let's see what Chris say. He probably needs donations out here. I'm gonna keep reading the first thing, baby. Trade for Hopkins and give him a 2-year extension. We still need a speed receiver though.
Relax. Chill out.
I don't know. I mean, what would we'd have to like package a few people up.
Yeah. Chill out.
Arizona would want they want defensive players, and I mean, I imagine they wouldn't mind the actual offensive piece if they were coming in to produce. So, I mean, if you packaged up Duvernay and Prochet and Wallace and snowballed them down there to grab Nuke, I mean, cool. It might work. I don't know. Give him a defensive player, just throw Queen in there just for the heck of it.
I'm about to say that's another thing you need to talk about. He ain't gonna go to Arizona. They don't need a linebacker.
Yeah.
You don't know that. I mean, I don't think that we're gonna reach for a linebacker in the first round, but with Queen out of there, because he's definitely gonna be out of there. I could see us grabbing a linebacker somewhere in this draft. Old boy from Washington, University of Washington, or even if we do trade back and get a second rounder, I can see it happen in the second round. We either that or we're going, Malik is going to get his opportunity. We're going to see.
Okay.
Get his opportunity because Queen is not going. He's not going to be there, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm about to say Queen is going somewhere. I think it's going to be on draft night. I think they just come not first round, or actually, I think it might go first round. I'd be like, they're not giving up a first rounder. But it's going to be a package deal to where Queen goes somewhere.
Don't be surprised if you go to the Eagles or the first
to the Eagles.
If they don't get what they want, they just lost. They just lost. They starting middle linebacker to Chicago.
Okay.
The Kobe Dean is not going. He's not big enough to be that Mike. He might be better off being a Will. But you need even if he is, you still a linebacker short for that defense. I can see them try. I can see They got the 30th pick. That's like, you might as well say that's almost like a second round. I can see us trading back, and they want to trade up if they find somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They want to trade up. They trade for Q. Give us a second rounder. We trade back. We swap that. That's what you get Q. You get your first rounder. When we trade back and we get your second rounder, that'll be the second rounder and whatever. That'll be for Q. That won't be the trade back. The trade back is just open that up.
Yeah.
Hey,
hang on right quick, Chris. Hey, we really appreciate you, man. This just for you, man.
Chris, you no.
We appreciate it, man. Thanks for that. So, Brooks saying, "Cam, chill out. D-hop me."
D-hop is not coming in. D-hop is coming when you cook. You ain't cooked yet. D-hop ain't coming.
Big Red saying Hop is going to end up here if he gets cut. If he becomes a free agent, then they're thinking he's going to be able to work money out.
See, I can agree with. It can probably.
But what's he going to look like? Because right now they really spent the bread to bring in Odell Beckham. Do you think Hopkins is going to swallow his pride to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to take a lot less than Odell Beckham and come to Baltimore"?
I don't think he's going to take. I mean, if it's a 1-year deal, he might, and especially if he's already getting paid on the back end. If they let him go, he might just for 1 year. Who knows?
But how much void money are we willing to throw in there?
I don't think it's only void money if you're not going to sign him long term. You're gonna have to sign somebody long term, man. You got to sign. You can't. First of all, you can't bring in an iconic player like Odell and not try to get a long-term deal done. That's just, to me, that's just stupid.
But it's a trial period. I mean, let's just say, he has an ACL, and I don't wish anything on anybody. Re-injured. Let's say he re-injures himself.
Mm-hmm.
We got him on that 1-year deal, $15 million, 4 years, backing down. What do we do after that?
Okay, if he re-injures himself, it's different. But if he doesn't re-injure, let's be optimistic. If he doesn't re-injure himself, and he's something of, look, he may not be as fast, but as far as his route running, Odell's a monster. He gonna get open. That ain't gonna be a problem. Odell can get open.
Brooke wants you fired.
I know. She's just mad. She's mad because she's
coming for you, man.
She want Hop, but
she'll cook for D-Hop. Apparently, y'all got to set it up.
Hop ain't going. You get Hop.
You better get the cooking.
Cooking, you get Hop.
Like EDC lately.
I want some barbecue chicken or some barbecue ribs, please. Thank you.
What you cooking? We want to know what you cooking. Delicious says it's hard to see D-Hop being here now. Like I said, yeah, it really does not look like that's in the cards for the Ravens. I feel like if they're going to do anything, I feel like it's going to be in the draft. And I feel like if Zay Flowers is on the board at 22, Baltimore pulling the trigger. They cannot skip out on another guy that could be and I hate to say this word because this is like being tossed around like crazy, a generational talent. Steve Smith, I really don't usually value his opinions, but after continuing to go back and watch game after game after game of Zay Flowers, I'm seeing explosive talent right there. Just full on yards after the catch, gets the separation, makes the big plays that little guys make. I mean, it's kind of weird because it's a little guy making big boy plays. And he put on the weight. The guy looks great. He looks amazing. I think this should be Baltimore's next type of guy. If, let's just say, like I said, it's a 1-year rental on Odell. Let's just say Rashad shows up, does his thing. Bateman comes over, proves that he's a number one. Odell doesn't get the looks that he wants to get, comes out with about 500 yards, let's say 3 touchdowns on the year. We got this other guy, Zay Flowers, comes in, and he shows potential. I don't think they signed back Odell, but Zay's there for that future 1-2 combination. And then, of course, extending Duvernay.
You got high hopes, bro.
I got high hopes.
You gotta let it go, man. You be holding on to the old. Like, why are you still mad at? It's the only joke I know mad at Steve Smith because he gave an opinion trying to be funny.
Look,
The joke.
y'all hold on to it, man. Steve
No,
Constantly, like I'm telling you,
speaking the truth.
like he is. Sometimes his opinions just they don't make sense. Like he's more emotional than he is factual.
He just sometimes, but some of the times it's just he just trying to be funny. But when it comes to talk about receivers, he gives the best of it. Nobody gives better options on that. He's the only one that said Cooper Kupp is the best receiver coming out.
Well, how many misses has he had since then?
Hmm?
So how many misses has he had since then? Since
He
2015?
He hadn't had any misses.
He hadn't had no misses?
I had Huh?
And I said, I think he had a few. I think I was looking it up. I have to go back and look it up. I had some notes on it. I'll look them up later. But he had a few that he was just like, yeah, this guy's going to be amazing. And then they didn't turn out to be much.
But not because it wasn't. If they didn't turn out, it's not because they didn't have the skills.
Now, I think he's right. I think he's right on Zay. I think he is. Like I said, but it was because I had to go back and continue to look at that because I wanted to see it for myself. And yes, it's there. Everything you want in a receiver is there with Zay. Even though, like I said, he don't meet the height requirements, can't see over the top of the refrigerator, but boy can play.
You gotta get that hate out your blood. So. It was just Easter. You gotta let it go, sir.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and put it on Easter then. So, Smitty, funny, blank, blank. Yep. I said, why are you mad? Ain't nobody mad at Smitty. I'm just saying, like, I feel like his takes are full of emotion and sometimes not on facts. That's just what I feel. All right, so moving on, I think one guy that we did miss was Marvin Mims.
Oh, Mims.
So what do y'all think about Marvin?
Isn't he another burner from Oklahoma?
Yep. Another burner from Oklahoma. Let's see if I got it. Do I have him? Yep. What do you think about this guy? I mean, he's a decent, like I said, I feel like it's like Hollywood Part 2 in my mind, but maybe that's just because the school lines up.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Marvin Mims can be a decent wide receiver in the NFL, but I don't think we want to go back to old Oklahoma again.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it with Clayton. We've done it with Hollywood. Do we want to go back down again that road? Because he's 5'11", 177 pounds, and people keep thinking he's just a slot guy. But he had 1,000 yards receiving in 2022, and he doesn't play like a small guy. I mean, he has the ability, he has toughness.
And then I'm sorry, because that was under when Lincoln Riley was there, correct?
Yeah. And then in 2021, this dude, he had like 20, he was averaging 22 yards per catch.
Mm.
He's a fluid receiver. I think this, Baltimore did have to go back to the well again in Oklahoma. Pick him up.
Senior Bowl?
Huh?
I gotta look at some tape on. Was he in the Senior Bowl?
I don't know. I don't remember. Let's pay some bills. Chris, we back at it again.
Hey King, I'm hungry. I'm gonna grab some more food, yo.
He said, "What was wrong with Hollywood?"
Nothing was wrong. He wanted to be out because
he felt that the formation did not fit him.
And don't take me off of there, man.
Don't take you out? Okay. Got his yellow screen at me. Yes, Hollywood, there was nothing wrong with Hollywood. As much as the fans gave him crap about the 6 drops total that he had on the season, like 3 in Detroit, and then one, maybe 1 or 2 during the rest of the season, and one big one against the Steelers that got knocked out of his hands. Other than that, Hollywood was one of those guys that we really counted on. We relied on for that deep shot. I liked Hollywood. He just didn't like that he wasn't getting the opportunities that he thought he could get elsewhere. And he's doing okay in Arizona. It's not phenomenal top-tier wide receiver numbers that he thought he was going to get. And it's probably a humbling moment for him. And I'm pretty sure there are times when he's thinking like, hey, I miss my quarterback. I miss Lamar. And I'm pretty sure he's probably calling Lamar up, holding that picture like Wolverine, just like, Lamar, I miss you, boo. I think it was a good draft by the Ravens in order to pick up Hollywood. He didn't like Giro, and a lot of players didn't. You know, a lot of like fans, they just did not like Giro. Thanks again, man. Appreciate you. Next is Delicious. He says, I wouldn't mind him, but I hope we're going to get more of an X-type wide receiver after getting OBJ. Well, I mean, what happens if Bateman ends up being that X? I still want somebody to be able to stretch the field. I want that full-on, like, speeding ticket type, burning type wide receiver. I mean, cops pulling him over in the end zone, just ready, just right this thing. It's hot. Like, hey, man, you're going too fast. Slow it down. Give me somebody like that. I know that I wasn't high on Jalen Hyatt, but I think Hyatt should be that extra piece that the Ravens need. Either that or actually go ahead and go get Marvin Mims. All right, Delicious says Marvin Mims definitely solid. Jose says, nah. To get it twisted, Hollywood was back-to-back 1,000 yards along with CD, Lamb, and once with Baker, the next with Murray. So I think, all-time wide receivers that coming out of OU, I think he was like number 4. No, Clayton was number 4 on the list. But he was up there with the likes of Mark Clayton as well coming out of OU. So I think that Hollywood's still going to thrive, and I'm hopefully, maybe after this 5th-year option, maybe he hits the free agency, maybe Baltimore picks him up in the offseason, brings him back, and they can see what they do with Monken's offense. Take him off. Take him off. Take who off? Oh, take him off. Take Cameron off. Oh, Brooke. She be coming for his throat.
Brooke talking slick again?
Yeah, she talking slick. She wants me to take you off.
That's all that is.
Take you off the screen. Oh, he's back. So Big Red says, nothing wrong with Hollywood, just not a wide receiver one. I like to say he's a good wide receiver too. But he's that burner, like I said, that you need in order to stretch that defense, in order to be able to dink and dunk underneath and have that separation that those other guys can create by Hollywood's addition. All right, Jose says the best productivity is availability, and he wasn't there.
You know about Babe?
I think he's talking about Hollywood.
Well,
I mean, the first year. But after that, I mean, dude, like, really only took off when Lamar took off. At least that's how I felt. All right, Brooke says, nobody likes Giro. Look, fam. All right. Yes, there were times when I did not like, why you got me on this? There were times I did not like Giro.
On fire today. She's, you know what, you in rare form tonight, bro.
Yes, she is. She coming for both of us, man. Giro going to thrive somewhere else. But you know what? Baltimore's moving on. And I'm excited about Monkey. So let's get it. Nobody like Giro. So y'all wrong, Couch like Gray. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, Big Red. It's like, geez, like y'all know that I was a big fan.
Reds don't like Giro.
I like the big fan. I'm a big fan.
Reds don't like Giro. That's why he said that.
Yes, y'all coming for me on this. And we celebrate every episode, and I like my show is totally different now because we used to say Giro's here, get over it. And of course, last year, I mean, honestly, after that Denver game, I was done. It just was stagnant. The offense was terrible. But you saw even on those games where we lost, like the one against the Bills, the Giants, all those comebacks, I felt like the Ravens offense was on fire. The defense started letting things fall through.
Right.
And they started making those big time comebacks. But the Ravens offense was really kicking. It was on fire on all cylinders. And all of a sudden, the Denver game, it just flopped, tanked. And then, of course, the injury happened.
Wait.
All right, the couch was Cap. He felt sorry for look, man. Brooke says, stop defending him, Jermaine. You don't have to feel sorry for him. Look, I do feel that he's gonna land on his feet somewhere. He's gonna take a year off. He's gonna learn a couple of things, hopefully more of the passing game and how to incorporate that into his amazing running attack.
He needs to go to college, bro.
Yeah, I think he's going back to high school, matter of fact. He's either high school or college. But he's doing that for a year, and then he's going to try and get back into the NFL. said, I can't stand Greg Roman. He said, yeah, I'm cool on Giro. Like I said, it just there were great things. 2019, nobody had a problem with Greg Roman, right? In fact, everybody was like really high on Greg Roman as he was getting offensive coordinator of the year, offense coach of the year, things like that. And nobody had a problem with him. When we went stagnant in the playoffs, I think that's where the issues, people started really hating because that's when Steve Smith went off on Giro. That's when other people decided to just go in. All television programs went in on Greg Roman and the stagnant offense against the Bills in the playoffs. And it was just like, and then of course they brought up the former tape, the Chargers. They brought up the former tape, the Titans. It just continued to be a pile-on session, and everybody flipped the script and they hated Giro. Just right now, people love EDC. They love EDC. They trust in EDC. I've seen it all over the place. In EDC, we trust. Oh, they let him cook this, that, and the other. Them same people had their own channels. They was coming for his throat. They wanted this man's job. They couldn't stand EDC. They was ready to run him to the end of town, just like General Motors ran my dad to the end of town. They wanted him gone. And now y'all love him. You love him because he got you. He was doing his thing. He kept his head low. He stopped listening to all of this nonsense in the media. And he went strong and he got Odell Beckham. He ain't done though. He is not done. He still got to, like you were saying earlier, he has to fill in the holes before the draft. That's kind of what they do in Baltimore. They make sure that every time we get ready to go into the draft, we can go best player available based off of what they truly want, not necessarily what they need. And that's why you're going to end up seeing a Marcus Peters deal. I'm going to be honest. You're going to see a Marcus Peters deal before the draft because of the fact that they want to go in there confident, knowing when 22 hits that they can do whatever they want to do. If they want to go defensive end, they can do it. If they want to go D-line, running back, whatever, they want to be able to do it. Whatever's sitting there as far as best player available, when 22 hits, Baltimore's going to make sure those holes are filled before the draft starts. All right, so nobody wants that man. He needs to try preschool, Lord. you got that full. She got all the salt, just all the hate. She drinking the full glass of haterade, just chugging it. And then Chris come back with some more. That's what's up. All right, EDC, drunk driving. Don't let oh my goodness, he's drunk driving. I mean, it is his birthday, but still, like, you gotta look at it like he is usually Mr. Responsible. He makes the smart, sound decisions when it comes to the cap. You know, he makes sure he brings in players that are going to be good role players that are not selfish along those lines, more blue collar individuals to continue to help build and mold this organization. And then you got, the fans out here that want that reckless mentality. They want that crazy. They need that irresponsible GM that's going to come out of nowhere and say, make it rain, baby. Oh, yeah. Tons of draft picks, tons of money everywhere. And then they get fired in like 2 years, whatever, because they made so many different bad decisions along the way. Eric DeCosta took a chance and brought in something that nobody necessarily thought he could. In fact, the rest of the league, including Graven, all of them thought, hey, that Odell Beckham was going to sign somewhere else. They just knew it, that he was going to go sign with the Jets to be with Aaron, or he was going to go to the Cowboys, and he was using the Ravens for leverage, just like Galladay did with the Ravens and the Giants. It was like a done deal that, hey, once he left Baltimore, people started to be a little negative, thinking it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And what happens? It happens. Because Eric DeCosta took that chance. He reached into that bag and pulled out that credit card and swiped it, put the Voyeurs on it for the second time, because he usually doesn't do that. But now he did.
Steve Bisciotti was recruiting Odell.
Steve did. Lamar did.
You got the owner. If you got the owner coming up in here because he wants his quarterback,
I can see him just over there smoking a cigar. Just like
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Now just get my quarterback sign, please. And I'm not talking about no franchise thing.
Yes. So this got to be a good sign. You cannot sit here and say, you know what? Google's a great company, but I'm not going to work here anymore. I'm just going to bounce out. You should work there, but I'm not going to work there anymore. It's a great company, man. Go have a great time. Do your thing. Get your bag. But I'm not working there with you, even though we would pay up. We would be a great combo. I think that's not happening. I think Lamar's just got to get the number right. And I say Lamar, I mean both of them got to get together, DeCosta and Lamar, and they got to get a number that is feasible for him to help him feel appreciated, and then feasible for the organization to say, hey, you know what, this doesn't cripple us in the future. And, and I hate to say it, this has got to be a pleasing number to the rest of the owners because, let's be honest, they are really colluding. It is what it is. It's factual that they are colluding against Lamar, but it's in their own interest. This is self-preservation of the league to not turn it into and not to turn it into the NBA. They don't want it to turn into the NBA.
Chris, wow.
What did he say? He said, I don't want good guys on my football team. I want cocaine sniffing delinquents. You want to be Jerry Jones. That's what you want to be. Because Jerry sit there. Look, I had hopefully a lot of people that I know are not listening. I had a warrant for my arrest and a couple speeding tickets down in Dallas. I almost got to try out with the Dallas Cowboys because of this. So that's just kind of what happens when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. If you got issues, look, Jerry's there for you. He's going to give you that opportunity. He's like, hey, look, come on down to Dallas. I see you, first degree murder. Look at your trial. How about them Cowboys? Look, it is the truth. The guys who usually get in trouble are the ones that have the most talent. And that goes from every single level of football. Amateur football, we had the most talented roster. We went undefeated, 10 wins, but the majority of them guys were from the hood, and they had issues out this world. Because they were talented. They just made a lot of bad decisions, and you try to curve them and get them into good environments where they can make good decisions, so they can get those opportunities to get paid and then have that turnaround. So, Jerry sees it. He just can't get off of picking the bad guys to make the bad decisions. Next thing you know, you got running backs who like kicking people or shoving people in crowds and everything else. Good times. All right. So the Cowboys days, yes, they're a trip. I mean, Michael Irvin, he's a perfect example. Mike, during his playing days, was constantly in the hotel room with, extracurricular activities going on. We'll just say, I ain't even finna get into the specifics, but Michael, if there was social media following Michael Irvin like they follow the rest of these people around, Mike wouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna just say it like that. That man was wild. Herschel Walker too. All right, let's keep it going here.
The Joker's business all on the front street. Chill out, son.
What is that?
I said you put Joker's business all on Front Street. Chill out. Chill out.
Mike was wild, man. They were some wild cats. All right. So anyway, Shane's saying Andy Isabella. What about him? What about him? I mean, everybody's been on this Andy Isabella wagon since last season. Oh, how great he is! If he was great, he'd have been great in Arizona, and he wasn't. We pick him up. What did he do here? Did he do anything, Cam?
He did his ran a reverse.
Nothing.
What
did that do on his way? Let him go to some other team or like that. We got other wide receivers need to worry about.
Leave that man alone.
Michael Irvin sniffing and whining, sweating on the wool.
Y'all going to hell.
So he's a late round equivalent this year. Lord. A couple of jet sweeps. That's about it for you. I mean, we already got a jet sweep guy. We don't need another jet sweep guy. It's just a waste of space, to be honest with you. Let's see. Chris White says, legend has it Andy Isabella was last seen on a milk carton. Yeah, we had a blast today. I tell you, I hate to end it, but we sit here at an hour and 34 minutes.
You ain't doing a job. You fired, bro.
She didn't do it. She didn't do a job. She got us sitting here at an hour and 34. I mean, look, folks, I want you to just think about it. Think about all these other wide receivers that are sitting outside the first round. Yes, we're in love with the JSNs. We're in love with the Zay Flowers. We're in love with so many wide receivers that could possibly go in the first round and even the second round, even though we don't have a second round pick. But Odell Beckham cancels out a lot of those different options there. So just think about what else is available. What is the positions of need? we got corners, we got defensive line, we got things that could also go at that 22nd pick. And of course, like I said, Eric DeCosta is going to try to fill those holes. So we got to figure out what's best for the team here. You got any final thoughts, man?
Brooke, you fired.
Oh, that's his final thought. You can't fire me when I'm already fired. Everybody, we trying to keep everybody on the ship here. Everybody back on the couch. We're trying to keep everybody here. Nobody's getting fired.
Brooke, you better cook.
Oh, Brooke better cook. That's his final thought. All right, yo.
Think of why you at it, Brooke.
This has been a heck of a show. I really appreciate each one of y'all coming through. Y'all warm my heart. Chris White, hey, look, man, you constantly make us fall off the couch with the donations. We really appreciate the love. Appreciate y'all, the comments, just the community. Like I said, you could be anywhere in the world, but you were here rocking with your boy on the couch, rocking with Cameron on the couch. We love y'all, man. We really do appreciate all this love. And we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to try to build, like I said, tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your friends about this channel. We're going to try to build to 2,000. I want to do it before the season starts. So continue to like, comment, subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. It's your Couch Rider Raven. What's up? Oh, you got a couple more? All right. Oh, Chris, go some more. Jeez. Oh, man, I don't know why I put that on the screen. I should have read it. New Prochet fired. Is that like legit news? Because I have not.
He said, nah, Prochet fired. He fixed it at the end. He said, nah. Is that a nah? Yeah, he said, nah, Prochet fired.
Nah, Prochet's fired. Oh, okay, so he's firing Prochet. He's hilarious.
Listen here, man.
Wilding out.
If you ain't cooking, I don't want to hear nothing.
Lord. There we go, man. But this is the Couch Rider Raven. Thanks for tuning in to the home of Original Sports Perspective. From our couch to yours. It's your Couch Rider Raven. It's your main man, Cameron.
Yes, sir.
Like, man, we'll see y'all on Wednesday. So give me 2 claps. Fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, hey, Raven. Couch Rider. Raven, we gon' ride out. Raven, Couch Rider. Raven, we gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.